Alrighty, friends, we're back for your favorite podcast show of the week. This is Location Weekly. This is episode number 662, and we are recording on March the 26th. Brianna, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. Today is my last day in the office before I take a few days off and head to Florida, just getting to some warmth for a few days. It's my kids' spring break. So I have a lot to look forward to. But yeah, just one last day in and then gonna take a little breather. So how are you doing? You've had an exciting couple of days.
Yeah, just the travel continues. Spent the weekend in Halifax, Nova Scotia, on the east coast of Canada, where this year was the host of the Juno Awards, which is our Canadian version of the Grammys, let's call it that. So yeah, all the biggest music artists in the country were there, hosted by Nelly Furtado. I don't know if you know who she is, but
Yeah.
she hosted it, and yeah, it was like I think for me, a lot of kind of the up and coming artists that I hadn't heard of, like just getting exposure to that. I was there for work through my startup, Ground Level Insights. We do measurement of sponsorships with our location data. So a lot of the music festivals and things like that. And we have a partnership with the Junos. So it was fun. It was like work and fun all at once. Yeah, I think one of the highlights for me was I got to be at this like late night kind of like in a hotel suite, basically like just super informal party, like a bunch of like superstars sitting around like in a campfire circle, unplugged, just getting up and doing covers for each other
Amazing.
and just getting to watch that. Like that was kind of crazy. So yeah, so it was fun.
Sounds like a good trip.
Yeah, it was good. And yeah, so it's baseball season officially starts later this week. So I'm
Mhm.
excited about that. And the travel continues. We have two retail locos next month around the corner. Our European event in Munich, and then our event in Minneapolis at Mall of America. So just go to thelbma.org and check out the events there and get engaged with that. But lots happening. So
For sure. Well,
yeah,
we have a couple of four good stories as usual this week, and I'm gonna kick it off
do
if you're
it.
ready. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start off with Google, who is going to release some more location control features for their Chrome operating system. So, as many of you have probably seen, that the camera and microphone controls option that was introduced last year, now you'll have this added location feature so that users can manage their location sharing access for all their apps and services on the Chrome operating system. So this will include Android apps, web apps that are used in Chrome, and some of the background system functions as well. So whenever they update and primarily block Google location services, apps and websites can still use their, generic location from IP geolocation, which, in some ways is a good thing because you want to be able to have that localized offering, the right language settings, all of those things, right? And users are also going to be able to choose which apps can access the features on a case-by-case basis, just to give them more control over their Chromebook privacy. So they have some other features that are rolling out for enterprise customers, secure local data recovery. So, when you forget your password, the Chrome OS is going to require that the users have access to their account and a physical device. Probably many of you already have that feature set up. I know with all of my corporate things, I have to do that kind of double verification. Sometimes it feels like quadruple verification in many cases. And so just like all of these efforts that they're putting around to bolster up their privacy and protection, they've also recently rolled out some other real-time URL protection through Google Safe Browsing, improved password management. They've got this like real-time defense against phishing, malware, and other online threats. That they're saying is expected to increase the blocking by an additional 25%. And then they're rolling out another capability to Android this month, which is using encryption and other privacy enhancing techniques to ensure that no one, including Google, knows what websites you're visiting. So that's kind of nice as well. So I think this is interesting to me because I feel like a lot of times it's Google that I don't want to have my location, like Google has your location all the time, no matter what you do. And I always find it very interesting whenever I visit Google and search for something, and it's like, do you want to share your location? And you're like, no, but it's already populated everything based on your location. You're like, all the good that did. So I think it's very interesting that they're rolling this out, and I think they're trying to perhaps take advantage of the opportunity of moving into that privacy forefront. With the changes that are happening, obviously they're deprecating cookies. We also saw, which I'm sure we'll talk about on a future show, Apple getting their hands slapped this week, and we'll see what the future of that looks like. But I just think that it's interesting that they're very focused on privacy all of a sudden. I don't think this has been like Google's MO from the start, because it's been always about like, how do I sell more advertising? And obviously by having a user's location, you sell a lot more advertising, and you get a lot more context. So we'll see how this rolls out. I'm curious to see how many users actually take the steps and adopt this. I think that the enterprise functionality and the password protection and encryption that they're giving those customers is obviously important, and you just have to keep iterating in those areas. I mean, it's always going to be changing. Hackers get smarter, so as a tech company, we have to get smarter too. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot to add to this. I think they're trying to keep up with the times and make sure they have a good PR story to tell. And especially in light of the Apple news. Yeah, I mean, this is something I'm sure they've had in the background working on this for some time now. And as everything that Google does in the privacy realm, it's always about PR and positioning and timing. So, they're trying to capitalize on kind of what's going on in the industry today. Yeah, I think the password stuff I think is interesting. I mean, every time I forget my Google password to log into my account, it already tells me to open up my YouTube app or something and, to verify that way. So I have that happening to me all the time. Um, yeah, I think, from a consumer point of view, the messaging is good on the privacy stuff. I think from an advertising and business industry point of view, they may get some significant pushback on this because I think that that's where their revenue is coming from, right? So it'll be interesting to see how they compensate for that in terms of where they're going to find, the revenue that might be lost from this. So I think that'll be interesting, but time will tell, as they say. So,
Yeah,
all right, well, let's
always
move
work
on.
that angle.
Yeah, yeah. Let's move on to our second story now. So, we're going to talk about a band. Speaking of coming from a music award show this weekend, not a Canadian band, a band born in 1990 as part of the whole Seattle sound movement that came out back in those days. Pearl Jam is back on the scene, and I don't know if you're a